crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. And there's none left. I was working so much this morning getting the horn of Z's ready, I drank all my coffee. Anyway, I want to talk about what happened on Friday with silver and something that is just gigantic for silver lovers. First, look what happened on Friday. Look at silver and gold. They're both traded on the same computer programs. Look at that spike right up to the 50-day moving average and then slam down. That's how big that is. Now people say, oh boy, the good guys bought a lot of silver in there. No, these are computer-generated clicks. What's happening right now, who's buying the silver, is the shorts. The shorts are trying to close out their contracts because they don't want to deliver. There's only 3 days left. 3 days left until the end of November trading, and then we get into the delivery. And look at this. We are over 50,000 contracts that can be delivered. If the trading ended today instead of next Wednesday, that's 250 million ounces that are standing for delivery. I'm not saying it's going to be over that. I mean, obviously there isn't 250 million ounces available for delivery. Unless JP Morgan wants to give up a big chunk of what they got. But JP Morgan can't give up a big chunk because they've got them in all their physical silver is wrapped up in all these derivatives contracts. So they can't deliver the physical or they'd be naked again. And they promised that they wouldn't do that. So we are getting to the nuts and bolts, nitty gritty of the greatest year. It's already been the greatest year ever in silver. The shorts have taken it in the shorts, literally. Lost billions and billions of dollars this year, whereas every prior year they've never lost. This is the biggest. The deliveries are off the charts this year. 400 million ounces delivered, off the charts, unheard of. And now we're getting to the last delivery month, December, and it's looking like it is going to blow away the second. Right now, the biggest delivery month was July. Ever in the history of COMEX. This is a big, everyone's like, Bix, why is it different? You say this all the time. What's different now as compared to 5 years ago or 10 or 20 years ago when you were studying this stuff? Everything is different. The big shorts are losing money, unheard of. The amount of silver delivered, unheard of. COMEX deliveries, right now, 50,000 contracts, 52,000 are outstanding. That's about 260 million ounces. If today was the last day of the November contract, would be ready to be for people to stand for delivery. Over 250 million ounces. Do I think it will be that big? No, I don't. Will there be a lot of EFPs, exchange for physical? Yeah, like cash payouts. Of course it's going to be. But those are huge losses also. That's why you're seeing stuff like this. This is a void of sellers. Who in their right mind would sell? And right now, the riggers are playing with the 50-day moving average right here. Right now, it stands at about 24.50. And let's see what happened yesterday with the price. Right there. Look at that. Can it be more obvious? Right to 24.50. These are the shorts saying, oh my God, if it goes over the 50-day moving average, then the tech funds pile in. And who is going to be the seller? Who would be the seller? If the big shorts aren't selling to suppress the price of silver, who would sell? There's nobody left to sell because the price is so massively undervalued. So this is survival mode for these criminal banksters. But again, check out the 50-day moving average right in here. That's where the battle is. So seeing this is awesome. 50,000 contracts. Now a lot got rolled over. Look at the March contract, which is the next delivery month. There was a huge jump. Open interest overall must have jumped. Let's take a look at it jumped 4,000 contracts. Normally it goes down by this time of the year. and 96,000 in March. But there's plenty of time to play their games and get rid of those shorts. But the key is, remember, for every long, there's a short. That's the way the market works. Every long has to have a short. And at the end of certain months, you have your delivery month. The end of November, the December delivery month comes into play, and they're still at 50,000 contracts. I would expect this to be, anything over 20 is going to be a nightmare for the criminal shorts. They don't have 100 million ounces to deliver, but this is 260 million ounces right now. I think it will get whittled down over the next 3 days, so expect volatility, hyper volatility next month. But I don't see how they're going to get it down into something that they can deliver. They could probably deliver maybe 20 million ounces. We're at 260 million ounces. This is capping off this big year. I do think it's the good guys taking them out. I would not be surprised if Warren Buffett, other people are colluding to take down the silver manipulators. This is the end game for year zero. So now is the time to be fully 100% invested in physical, off all exchanges, because when this happens, if they can't deliver the silver, they either have to take billions of dollars of hit, or we have the market freezing up. And you won't know the price of silver. I do expect us to go for a few months, nobody knowing the price of silver, nobody knowing the price of gold, nobody knowing the price of cryptos. The exchanges are criminal, and they need the old system to continue to function in order for them to play their games. And that's what's ending. So hang on tight, my dear friends. Hang on tight. For silver, I can't think of any better scenario than coming into 3 days left of trading in November. And if there's over 200 million ounces that stand for delivery, which would be a 40,000 open interest, that would be massive. Remember, the highest ever was 17,000. And we're way, almost triple that right now. Hang tough, my friends. It's going to get crazy. Speaking of crazy, cryptos are doing well. Nice and solid. All these exchanges are rigged. Don't forget, Litecoin is up at $86. Nice move. Look at XRP. Now, XRP, the bankster coin, I said it's going to do great until it goes to zero. And that's where it is right now. The bankster coin right here, up 33%. This really feels like the end game for XRP, too. Those banksters are going to try to get as much as they can out of XRP before the banking system collapses and XRP goes to zero. So I think that's what's going on right now with XRP. If you want to ride the XRP train, you go for it. But keep in mind, XRP requires the banks to stay in place. That's what it does. It's the new SWIFT system for the bankers. A couple bankers want it to happen in the banking cabal. It's not going to work. And their ICO was completely criminal, and it's centralized. There's everything bad about XRP. And even the banks don't like XRP. JB Diamond's like, XRP is bullshit. We can do that. I can have my tech guys design that system much better than XRP did. And the bankers aren't buying into XRP. So I'm just saying, XRP, it looks like the end game. You're going to get a spike and then instantly goes to zero when the banks crash. Because that's the thing with XRP. It is used as transferring between banks. If there's no banks, there's no need for XRP. But there is need for Litecoin. I'm just telling you. And then let's talk about Theta. Theta's up at 69 cents. I got an email this morning. It wasn't disturbing. I know people are doing this on the road to Ruta because a lot of people listen to Bitcoin Ben and listen to the road to Ruta, and they're like, well, what should I invest in? Divi or Theta? And I'm like, obviously Theta. Divi's a hyperinflationary coin that is, for the most part, centralized. And I'll show you that in a second. That's why in the past few months, Theta has doubled and Divi's been cut in half. Divi actually hit a landmark that nobody even talked about in the Divi community. It's a huge landmark. Let me show you what it is. So Divi's trading at 34 cents. The huge landmark is right here. They hit 2 billion Divi in circulating supply. 2 billion. That's a hell of a lot of Divi, considering when it came out, it was only 600 and something million. So the hyperinflationary problem of Divi is being shown And that 2 million mark, it's after 2 years. And the Divi guys are completely upfront about what they're doing. It's even in their white paper. Let's go to the white paper. This is the Divi white paper. And where is they explain very well, actually, the hyperinflationary problem. It's not a problem. It's designed that way because they want to get people in. They want to get it used. So whoever gets in first gets all the value out of Divi, and then you get less and less value over time because they're hyperinflating the coin away. Okay, here we go. Divi by the numbers, created in the first year. So initially, they created 657 million, but it's been 2 years. That was in 2018, 2019. That's why it's at 2 billion now. And then it goes down over time. See, they have a really good chart in here. I think I already passed it. Hold on a second. And they're very upfront about it. I mean, it's just that crypto people don't, all they do is look at price. So when it went up, everybody's like, oh my God, Bix, why are you telling me to invest in Theta instead of Divi? Here it is. And see, this is very upfront. This is in the white paper. So good job. Bravo to them for being upfront about this. Starting coin circulation, 617 million coins. And it's breaking out who gets the new coins that are created. New coins are created all the time. The new coins, they didn't do the math here, which I think they should have, but it comes out to over 617 million that are created every year. So that's like double the coins. So it's been 2 years, so we have triple the original amount, which comes out to right here. Where is it? Right there. We're at 2 billion. That is going to climb to 2 billion. It starts to decline now. Now's when it starts to decline, but the numbers are still huge. So they've done their first 2 years. Bravo, Divi. You're still alive. A lot of cryptos aren't alive. But they are hyperinflating the coins. And that's why the value doesn't go up. There's more and more Divi being created, given to these masternodes, and the smart people within Divi are selling them immediately because they're in early. If you're in Divi, you want to sell it. You're trying to make money. It's pretty much all this coin is good for. You're trying to make money. So yes, definitely get your initial investment out. So people who have masternodes every month who are smart are selling. And I was jumping up and down about this, years ago when I talked to Jeff, the CEO. This is a hyperinflationary coin that the hyperinflation goes away in 2029. In 2029, that's when Divi will either be a good coin or a bad coin. And we'll know. Because during this time, everybody's going to be selling their new coins so that they at least get their money back. And trying to get new masternodes in when it's getting smaller and smaller, the returns and the rewards. I mean, that's why I was jumping up and down. And it is proving out now, as you see the Divi price has gone. And, if you look at this year, they had a big spike up to here. And I think this is when it spiked to 8 cents. This is when people started saying, oh my God, I'm making so much money. I need to start selling some of these Divi coins that I'm making because they're giving away so many of them. They're creating so many. And then you have the 50% drop. So right now we're down at like, what, 3 cents, 3.5 cents. So that's my take. I think they're upfront about it. I know they're upfront about it. They say it. And I talked to Jeff, the CEO, about it. He had big plans. That's why I called it the Field of Dream coins. But they're running up against a clock. And that clock has been ticking, ticking, ticking every day. And every day, every tick is, I think, something like 6 million. 6 million coins are created per month. It's around 6 million coins out of the blue are created every month to pay off the masternodes. So I hope everybody understands why you have this disconnect between Theta, which has doubled, and Divi, which has been cut in half in the last since August. All right. So no, the Field of Dream coins, they haven't built it. and I think people who have masternodes are continually selling because they were making good money, and they want to continue to make good money, as any crypto should. If it's an investment, you want a return on your investment. All right, let's talk about cryptos a little bit. We have Bitcoin nice and strong, almost 19,000. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, I'm ready for the pullback. I'm going to buy when it's lower." That means you have your cash or your coins in an exchange and you're ready to pull the trigger. I think that's a gigantic mistake. If the banking system goes down, all the crypto exchanges will go down as well, and you will not get your coin. So just be aware of that. We are at the end game of year zero. Clearly, there are many fronts, everything going on at the same time. If you've taken the road to root advice, you are on the sidelines. You're on the sidelines with your cryptocurrency, sidelines with your silver, if you want gold for unknown reasons. People say, Bix, will you never invest in gold? I will absolutely be one of the biggest investors in gold when silver is fairly traded with gold. So yeah, if you're putting money into gold right now at 75-1 ratio, I think it's you're just not thinking through. Gold is great as a store of value, but silver's better as a store of value. Oh, and by the way, it's massively undervalued, and it's needed in industrial applications even more, especially with the high-tech future. So yeah, Theta is the call. All you Road to Ruta members, the private road members that have taken the time and energy to set up their Theta node, their Theta Guardian node, bravo to you. Your work is paying off. It's not easy, but it's not hard. On the private road, I give you step-by-step instructions how to buy Theta, even if you're in the US, how to store your Theta. I recommend the Trezor wallet, and then how to stake Theta. And I recommend using Gpool. So you don't have to run it on your own computer. You can use Gpool. Gpool has gone through the roof, by the way. Here's the stats for Gpool. This is the guardianmonitor.io. And it's right here. When I started recommending this, it was 24 million tokens were staked on Gpool. Right now, it's 64 million. And these are tokens that people have like on their Trezor wallet that instead of just sitting there, you stake them and you earn Theta Fuel. And Theta Fuel is going to be really, really important in the future for various things. One of the things is smart contracts. Yes, Theta team is introducing smart contracts this year. This year means in the next, 40 days left in the year? This is huge. And then you got Coinbase announcement that they're looking at Theta to go on Coinbase. I don't know how they're going to get Theta on Coinbase. There's just not enough Theta. They might have to delay it, the Coinbase activity, unless they go to, Coinbase goes to the Theta Labs guys and say, we need some coins. If we're going to put you on our exchange, we need some coins. And if they go in to buy the coins, it's going to double, triple, quadruple overnight. And Coinbase doesn't want that. So they're going to get some coins, probably through backdoor channels like through Theta directly. And we did see Theta Labs close out one of their nodes, 30 million tokens. So that would be, some of that goes to Coinbase. Yeah, I can see how that can happen. So hang on. We're at 52% has been staked right now of the 1 billion Theta tokens. And that's good. I mean, we remember back when it was 30%. And now we're at 52. What's going to happen when we go to 70%, 80%, 90% staked? And people want to buy it? Where are they going to get it? There's only one way to get it, and that's to drive the price higher and higher. Definitely, if you aren't on the road to Ruta right now, go to roadtoruta.com, join the private road, and voila, I can teach you how to, even if you're not crypto savvy, how to buy Theta, especially in the US, because the big exchanges aren't holding it yet. How to stake it, and then how to store it, and then how to stake it. All right, let's see. Oh, by the way, Theta also announced, this was out of the blue for me, Theta Network introduces edge compute aiding folding at home's fight against COVID-19 and other diseases. With the Theta Edge node programs, that's the thing that you download on your computer and you run it for free in the background and you earn Theta Fuel. That's the broadband sharing part. That's how you share your extra space on your computer with other people and you earn Theta Fuel. You can use that for decentralized computing. That's what Theta is teamed up with Folding Edge at Home to fight COVID. And check it out. It's on beta right now, so they're testing it out. Distributed Folding at Home is a distributed computing project originally launched in 2000 to work on simulating protein dynamics, often involved in a variety of diseases, including Alzheimer's, Huntington's, cancers, and other. Earlier this year, with coronavirus wreaking havoc on the world, Folding at Home began focusing its compute power on SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, first finding novel protein structures that were not easily accessible to the research community, and now screening for potential drugs to target these structures. The goal to identify new COVID-19 drugs, therapies, and other possible side effects. Today, Folding at Home is one of the world's largest distributed computing systems, achieving over 2.43 exaflops in April, powered by over 4 million volunteer computing devices. Theta Network started thinking about expanding its patented decentralized video and data delivery blockchain technology to edge computing earlier this year. The edge nodes have thus far been dedicated to sharing bandwidth by relaying video and other data in a peer-to-peer network, scalable to millions of current users through a native protocol level support for off-chain micropayments. Since bandwidth sharing utilities minimal CPU and GPU resources, it means the edge node could also perform compute-intensive tasks such as determining which drug designs would be effective in COVID-19. Like I said, it's not just sharing a video game. It is the new internet. It is decentralized computing. It is going to be ridiculously huge. So go to roadtoroot.com. If you're a private road member, go to the Theta page. It teaches you all about how to get involved. Start your Guardian node. Start staking. Join in the future of the internet. It's the Internet 2.0, just another application of how it goes. All right. I do want to call your attention to Penny Kelly's latest video. I love Penny Kelly. Penny Kelly's awesome. I read Robes, I don't even know how many years ago. She wrote this book called Robes about these entities that came to her and told her about the future. I don't even know when I read it. It was like right when it came out. I don't remember when it was. It was so long ago. I think it was over 20 years ago. Not quite sure. But so I've been a fan of Penny Kelly for a long time. But a lot of her visions were not good for the future. And we're at that point in our development as humanity evolves. We're at that point where it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But the Road to Ruta comic books that I found at the Federal Reserve Bank gave me hope back in January 1st in 2000. I didn't fully understand it when I saw it, but it was the Federal Reserve talking about destroying the old system, destroying their own system, and going to something better. And that's what Ruta was all about. That this is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston website. There it is. There's the Wishes and Rainbows comic book. Why is Ruta so happy? Because she knows that with a different monetary system, we would end wars. I mean, wars are fought because of the monetary system. Wars are very expensive to fight. Unless you create fiat money out of blue sky, you are going to go to. You can't go to war if you're running off a sound monetary system. It's just too expensive, and you don't want to. I mean, war sucks. But Penny had a vision just a couple days ago, and she entitled this one "Opening of the Clouds," and she says there is a potential. There is a potential for a happy ending. The end of the road to Ruta is we're going through this dark, dark tunnel. We're in the dark tunnel now, but there is a light at the end of the road. At the end of the tunnel, our road moves into the light. That's why Ruta's jumping up and down, screaming, yes! There's something new coming. And it could be something new that is bad or something new that is good. And I'm fighting for the good, and I hope you guys are too. Not only wishing and praying, which is great stuff, but fighting for it, exposing the bad stuff. So, yeah. Also, yesterday, I posted the Jenny Moonstone very first interview we did, the very first time we met. I had posted a couple cuts out of it about gold, and I put the entire interview, all 90 minutes of it, or 100 minutes of it, on the private road, and all the other Jenny Moonstone readings are below, about silver, about gold, about where we're headed. One of the things Jenny says in this video is that when we were talking about Q and, are the Trump people going to win and all that, and she's like, it really does come down to the last second. It's like just when we think we're going over the abyss, bang, we're saved. Or something is revealed that changes everything. And I think that's where we're coming. Because we are in the dark part of the tunnel right now. The clock is ticking with this election stuff. Click, click, click. But it's got to be something that is all encompassing. Something so big that the criminals get arrested and everybody's happy about that. So the left has to come out and say, oh my God, they really did fool us. They really did trick us about Trump being such an asshole. Yes, he's an asshole, but it took an asshole to save our country. And that's where we're coming. So we're coming to the end. The outcome is unknown, as Cliff High said, to be determined. But I do see, I've always seen a light at the end of the tunnel. And their control lies in the unbacked fiat monetary system and the exchanges and derivatives that they use to control it. And when that goes away, humanity has a shot at building something new and better and more and beautiful, a beautiful future. And that's what Penny Kelly caught her first glimpse of a couple days ago. And then she put out a great video on it. It's called An Opening in the Clouds. And I'll play a little bit of it for you here.
I had this picture of myself just marching up to this big curtain, pulling it back roughly and demanding to know what is going on behind the curtain, only to be confronted with utter silence and a big white wall. Now, a couple of times in the past, I've talked about seeing the white wall and what it signifies. It's my signal for stop. Don't go any further. There's a lesson here, and you don't want to ruin the lesson. However, there was a dot of light on the wall that I'd never seen before. It caught my attention, and I sort of fixated on that dot, wondering what it was. As I did, it began to expand and emit this intense golden light that spread out and then opened into a small
golden light. Golden light in the Wishes and Rainbows comics. What happened when Ruta pushed the block away? The golden light came down.
Small, brief vision of our world. It was a very different world from what I had been seeing these past years. It was a vision of our world that was, above all, beautiful and peaceful. We, the people, were busy. We were cooperating. We were regenerating ourselves and the planet. There was a general sense of calm, yet there was this electricity that was mostly an excitement about the future. So my instant gut level response was, oh my God, we have a chance. There's an opening, and we don't have to descend into chaos and destruction. And then the whole thing closed. I got up and went back to cleaning house, but I couldn't get over the fact that I'd just seen something so encouraging for the first time in I don't know how long. Could I trust what I just saw? Was it possible that this was all going to end very well? That little vision was like a break in the clouds that gives a pilot just enough view to let him know where he is and where he can land safely. Then the telephone rang, and it was someone from Washington, D.C. that keeps me up to date about what's going on behind the scenes. Essentially, the message was, don't get too tangled up in what you see going on because it's all theater. It's going to play out over the next 2 or 3 months. And I said, so what are we going to have? What are we going to see? What's going to play out to be? And the answer was, we're going to have a world without war. So my initial reaction was something like, that's it? No war? As if that was inconsequential or irrelevant. But after the call was over, I had a chance to think about it. And that's when the enormity of what was happening behind the scenes sunk in.
I I get emotion. Yes, it's funny. As humans, we get certain things trigger us and really dive into our soul, so that goosebumps are. My friend Dave, he gets the goosebumps. GSRs is what he calls them, or they're called. When something strikes you as so important that your soul reacts and you have a physical reaction. I think Penny, just right there, went through it. You saw her welling up. It is such a profound discovery to think that there is hope. There is hope that we get through this. And she hadn't seen that. They were not showing her that. They had that blocked for decades. I mean, how long? It was the early 80s that the little guys in robes came to her. And now we're, 40 years later, and this is the first sign of hope. We're right at the end game. As Jenny Moonstone says, we'll get right to the end of the abyss and be saved. So, whew. Thank you, Penny Kelly. Go subscribe to Penny Kelly's YouTube channel, just Penny Kelly. Amazing stuff, and she's been on the spiritual side working this stuff for a very long time. Really cool. Bravo. Now, again, for private road members, hit subscribe today. If you want private road and you want to get access to how to start the Theta stuff, join. It's 1 year. It's $299, and I send you 25 Theta and 25 Theta fuel already loaded on a paper wallet. It's $299 for a year at the Road to River, which is less than $1 a day. And you get access to all the behind-the-scenes stuff, all the archives, everything I got. The full Monty, shall we say. And I send you 25 Theta fuel to your front door. If you don't want to deal in cryptocurrencies, but you want a little bit, this little bit, if Michelle Whitedove is correct, will be worth $50,000. There is no guarantee. I guarantee you I'm not guaranteeing this. But I do remember sending out very many Bitcoin wallets a few years back with 0.1 Bitcoin on them when Bitcoin was $200. So people who subscribe to the Road to Rudo got the 0.1 Bitcoin. How much is 0.1 Bitcoin worth today? Almost $1,900. $1,900. So do I think Theta will eclipse that? Absolutely. I can't tell you when. Will Theta go to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000? Yeah, it will over time as it gets adopted, because we need it. We need Theta. We need the technology to expand the internet to give us more broadband capacity for the Internet of Things, and so much more can be done on it. And I was screaming about Bitcoin when it was $200, and now I'm screaming about Theta. I've been screaming about it since it was 5 cents. You're going to look back and say, oh my God, Bix, you screamed at me, I didn't listen. Or you screamed at me, so I took the time and got a Theta Guardian node up and running, and now I'm hopeful. And it's saved my bacon, shall we say, about the future of your finances. We want to get through this transition intact. And keeping money in the system is not the way to go. You have to have it in your own possession. I think Theta is the best crypto out there. Better than Bitcoin. More useful than Bitcoin. Even better than Litecoin. Although Litecoin is beautiful as a means of exchange, Theta is, you can get two kinds of investors. When the crypto people really understand what Theta is, they're going to come in. But it's the technology people. When they understand what Theta is, it's both the cryptocurrency and a technology that can help save the world, like the invention of the World Wide Web. So you're going to have dueling forces, and then at that point, nobody will sell. People don't understand that these exchanges don't necessarily work like you think they are. Theta can go from 65 cents to $65 to $650,000 in one trade. Because if nobody wants to sell and everybody wants to buy, it has to find price equilibrium. Anyway, that's my take. And you private road members who have studied this stuff and got some, good for you. Yes, you can add theta to your current theta guardian node. You have to add them in increments of 10,000 theta, but you can add and you can buy more. And I teach you how to do that at Road to Ruta. So join Road to Ruta, and that's all I got for you. Big day, exciting stuff. And Penny Kelly, beautiful glimpse of the future. Thank you for that. And as Ruta likes to say, I mean, look at Ruta's face. That's the kind of face we're headed towards right here. We're going to all be making this face in March, April. We're still going to have a lot to go through. But humanity has a shot. And I think it's a good shot. Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com.